There's a voice within you that speaks softly, guiding you toward balance, peace, and inner fulfillment. Yet in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, this quiet counsel is often the first to be dismissed. You might feel a subtle nudge in your heart telling you to slow down, to rest, or to change course. But too often, it's easier to push that feeling aside, focusing instead on external expectations. In a world that glorifies busyness, it may even feel normal to overlook your own needs until the body, mind, or spirit starts sending out louder signals. Stress, fatigue, and a lingering sense that something is missing. When we ignore ourselves, we pay a cost that isn't always obvious on the surface. Perhaps you've noticed moments of frustration that seem to come from nowhere, or a restlessness that creeps in when you're finally alone. These subtle signs are your inner wisdom knocking on the door of your awareness, asking, is this really how you want to live? Is there something you need to address or explore? The irony is that despite all our striving to stay in control of life, we often lose sight of the deepest source of guidance we have, our own intuition. Today, I invite you to explore the possibility that tuning in to this inner wisdom could transform your life in ways you never imagined. It's like finding a map you didn't realize you possessed, one that not only shows you where you are, but gently points you toward your true path. What if honoring that inner voice could reduce stress, deepen your self-love, and improve your relationships? What if it could open the door to unexplored passions, a greater sense of purpose, and a calmer, more centered way of being? Let's also recognize that the journey of listening to yourself is deeply linked to self-love, emotional healing, and gratitude. When you pause and acknowledge your deepest feelings, you practice self-respect. When you heal past hurts, you clear the static that blocks your intuitive signals. And when you nurture gratitude, you lift your energy, making it easier to perceive the gentle whisper of your heart. In this video, we'll explore practical steps to regain that lost connection with yourself, so you can master your intuition and step into a more harmonious life. We'll look at everything from mirror work to affirmations, from emotional healing to the power of gratitude. Let's shine a loving spotlight on the parts of you that have been unheard for too long. By the end, you'll have the tools to make self-awareness your closest companion and to nurture a relationship with yourself that's filled with understanding, compassion, and trust. So, take a gentle breath and remember, you hold immense wisdom within you. It's time to give that wisdom the attention it deserves. It's time to ask yourself, am I truly listening? And if the answer is no, then consider this your invitation to open up, pay attention, and embrace the quiet voice that's been with you all along. Self-awareness often sounds like a luxury, something you indulge in when everything else is done. But the truth is, self-awareness is the very foundation upon which the rest of your life is built. Think about it. How can you make decisions that honor your well-being if you don't truly know what you need? How can you form healthy relationships if you haven't nurtured a healthy relationship with yourself? And how can you pursue a meaningful life path if you've lost touch with your deepest desires? In recent years, there's been a rising wave of consciousness on social media and in daily conversations. People are waking up to the idea that being busy isn't necessarily a badge of honor. A new dialogue is emerging, one that recognizes the importance of mental health days, mindful practices, and tuning in to our own internal rhythms. Yet even with these encouraging discussions, many still hesitate to embrace genuine self-awareness. They worry they'll appear self-centered, or that focusing on their inner world means neglecting external responsibilities. However, it's quite the opposite. By understanding and honoring your own needs, you gain the energy and clarity to be more present for the world around you. Imagine your awareness as a gentle lantern illuminating a dark room. The room represents your inner landscape, your emotions, fears, desires, dreams. Without light, you might bump into unacknowledged feelings or sabotage your own progress because you can't see what's really going on within. But once you start shining that lantern around, you begin to notice your patterns, the reasons behind your triggers, the beliefs that hold you back, and the hidden strengths you haven't tapped into. This process is not about judging yourself for what you see. Instead, it's about witnessing it all with compassion. Often, people hold on to guilt or shame, thinking their less than perfect moments define them. But self-awareness gently reminds you, you are not your mistakes, and you are not your negative thoughts. You are the observer who can choose to transform them. It's also worth noting that self-awareness has a ripple effect on those around you. When you're calmer and more grounded, you offer a soothing presence to loved ones, colleagues, and even strangers. Your newfound clarity allows you to respond to life's challenges with grace rather than react from a place of tension or insecurity. In this sense, prioritizing self-awareness isn't selfish. It's an investment in creating a more peaceful and supportive environment for everyone you encounter. Today, as you watch this, consider taking a moment to ask, what do I need right now? Maybe it's as simple as a sip of water, a short break, or a deep breath. This small question is the start of a deeper practice, one that acknowledges you as a worthy, dynamic being who deserves attention and care. Recognizing the underrated power of self-awareness is the first step toward reconnecting with your intuition, and, in turn, experiencing a life guided by authenticity and love. So here's your friendly reminder. Each time you pause to check in with yourself, you're affirming your value. You're telling your inner being that you matter. And that is a precious message many of us need to hear far more often. Your intuition is like a gentle breeze on a warm day. You can't see it, but you can feel it. It whispers through your emotions and bodily sensations, reminding you to pay attention. Sometimes it's that tingling feeling in your stomach when something feels off, or the warmth in your chest when something feels, oh, so right. It's a sense, beyond logical thought, that's always there, guiding you to your next step. Yet many of us, caught in the whirlwind of daily life, have trained ourselves to tune out this invaluable inner compass. Have you noticed how your body reacts when you're making a decision that goes against your deeper truth? Tense shoulders, clenched jaw, a sudden headache. These are not random. They're signals from your internal guidance system. Meanwhile, when a choice resonates with your true path, you might feel a lightness in your heart, a sense of clarity, or even a surge of excitement. This mind-body connection is more than just a feel-good concept. It's rooted in the reality that your emotions and physical sensations often hold coded messages from your subconscious. Lately, there's been a surge of interest in concepts like intuitive eating, intuitive parenting, and intuitive living. People are realizing that external advice can only go so far if it contradicts the wisdom within. For example, you might read an article that recommends a certain diet, but your body rebels every time you follow it. Or a well-meaning friend gives you career advice, but your gut feeling says, "That's not for me." When you override these signals, you risk creating internal conflict, and over time, that can lead to frustration or burnout. Contrary to what some might believe, intuition is not anti-intellectual. It doesn't replace your ability to think critically. In fact, intuition and logic are allies, not enemies. Your intellect gathers facts and weighs pros and cons, while your intuition taps into deeper emotional and energetic cues. Integrating both allows you to make well-rounded, heartfelt decisions. Think of logic as the well-lit path and intuition as the flashlight revealing hidden corners. Both are essential to navigating life's winding roads. But in order to harness this gift, you need to practice listening. One simple way is to check in with your body when you're faced with a choice. Ask, how does this feel in my stomach, my chest, my heart? If you experience tension or anxiety, it could be a sign that something is off. If you feel relief or excitement, it may be a green light. It takes time to distinguish genuine intuitive signals from fear or wishful thinking, but with patience, you'll learn the difference. Think of your intuition as a lifelong companion, ever present and always seeking to guide you toward joy and wholeness. It's not about being right all the time. It's about being true to yourself. When you start trusting your gut instincts, you'll notice a shift in how you move through the world. Decisions become less about external approval and more about alignment with your inner values. And that, dear friend, is a powerful way to live. Take a moment and imagine standing before a mirror. What thoughts come to mind as you meet your own gaze? For many, it's a swirl of judgment, focused on so-called flaws, wrinkles, blemishes, or features you wish were different. This habit of criticizing ourselves is surprisingly common. But what if the mirror could become your friend rather than a magnifier of insecurities? What if, instead of critiquing your appearance, you used that reflection to cultivate a meaningful conversation with your soul? Mirror work is a practice that invites you to look into your own eyes and speak affirming, supportive words. This might sound strange at first. Do I really need to talk to myself? But it's a powerful way to break through negative self-talk that has lingered for years. Whether you struggle with body image, low self-esteem, or a general sense of disconnection, mirror work helps you see yourself as you truly are, deserving, valuable, and worthy of love. It's a direct invitation to connect with the wise, guiding presence inside you. In recent times, short videos demonstrating mirror work have been circulating on various social media platforms. You might have seen people repeating phrases like, "I am lovable," or "I trust myself," while looking directly at their reflection. At first, it can feel awkward. You might even laugh or feel resistance. But behind that initial discomfort lies an opportunity to peel away layers of self-doubt. With consistent practice, many individuals find that mirror work reveals hidden emotions, sometimes tears, sometimes relief, because it's profoundly vulnerable to face yourself in such an honest way. Here's a simple approach. Stand in front of a mirror each morning, take a slow, calming breath, and meet your own eyes. Softly say something compassionate, like, "I am here for you," or You are strong and capable. Notice any tightness in your body or any negative chatter that arises. Rather than scold yourself for these thoughts, gently acknowledge them. With each repetition, you're teaching your subconscious mind that you deserve kindness. You're dissolving old patterns of self-criticism and replacing them with support. The beauty of mirror work is that it doesn't just boost your self-esteem, it can also enhance your intuition. When you cultivate a more loving inner dialogue, it becomes easier to hear the subtle guidance from within. You start trusting yourself because you're actively treating yourself like a friend instead of an enemy. This shift allows intuitive messages to come through more clearly, free from the static of self-criticism or shame. If you find the silence awkward, you can incorporate gentle affirmations. I forgive myself for past mistakes. I allow healing to take place. I open my heart to love and guidance. These phrases, when repeated with sincerity, become a healing mantra for your spirit. Over time, the mirror ceases to be a place of scrutiny and transforms into a portal for acceptance and deeper listening. Embrace each session as an act of self-love, a moment to connect with the compassionate voice that resides in your core. The more you practice, the more that voice will become your natural soundtrack, guiding you toward a life rooted in inner harmony. Words carry an energetic charge that can either lift us up or pull us down. Imagine how it feels when a loved one says, "I believe in you." Now contrast that with how you feel when someone says, "You'll never succeed." Our bodies and hearts respond immediately, sometimes more powerfully than we might admit. Affirmations harness this potent energy of language to nurture our hearts, minds, and spirits. They're not about tricking yourself into blind optimism. They're about aligning your thoughts and feelings with the truth that you are inherently capable of healing and growth. You might be wondering, how can repeating a phrase possibly create real change? Think of it this way. Over time, many of us have absorbed negative beliefs, statements like, "I'm not worthy," "I can't trust myself," or "I don't deserve happiness." These beliefs often originated from childhood experiences, societal messages, or painful relationships. Repetition is what made them stick. Now, by choosing empowering affirmations, you're consciously using repetition as a tool for transformation. Each time you speak an uplifting statement, you challenge an old pattern and introduce a new supportive perspective. To make affirmations most effective, try pairing them with an emotional state that reflects the words you're saying. If you affirm, "I trust my inner wisdom," place your hand over your heart or take a slow, mindful breath. Feel the warmth and intention behind the words. Visualize yourself acting confidently on your intuition. The combination of spoken word, emotional resonance, and mental imagery accelerates the reprogramming of your subconscious mind. Here are a few affirmations you might consider to deepen your self-listening. My intuition is my ally. I trust it to guide me toward my highest good. I am open to receiving clarity and guidance from within. Every day, my inner voice becomes clearer, and I honor what it tells me. I deserve to make choices that nourish my body, mind, and soul. Feel free to adapt these or create your own based on what resonates with you. The key is authenticity. Choose words that truly speak to your heart. Some people even write affirmations on sticky notes and place them on mirrors, computer screens, or kitchen cabinets. This visual reminder keeps them anchored in a positive mindset throughout the day. If you find your mind resisting, that's normal. Changing deeply ingrained beliefs can stir up doubts, but persistence pays off. The more often you feed your mind with nurturing ideas, the more those ideas become your new normal. Over time, you may notice subtle yet profound shifts in your attitudes and decisions. You might feel a growing sense of peace, or you might catch yourself speaking kindly to yourself instead of criticizing. These small changes often lead to bigger transformations, a newfound courage to follow your intuition toward unexpected opportunities, relationships, or life paths. Affirmations are an invitation to remember who you really are beneath the layers of societal conditioning and negative self-talk. As you consistently repeat them, you're essentially saying, I choose to invest in my well-being, my truth, and my ability to grow. Let these words act like gentle rays of sunlight, breaking through the clouds of doubt and shining light on the vibrant potential that has always resided within you. It's hard to truly hear your inner voice if it's drowned out by past pain and resentment. Think of your emotional world like a garden. Old hurts, grudges, and regrets are the weeds that crowd out healthy growth. No matter how much sunlight or water you pour into that garden, if the weeds remain, they'll keep competing for space and nourishment. This is why forgiveness is so crucial. It's the process of gently pulling out the weeds so your intuition and emotional well-being can flourish. Forgiveness doesn't mean saying, what happened was okay. Rather, it's a conscious decision to free yourself from the shackles of anger and hurt. You might be holding on to pain from a past relationship, a betrayal, or even mistakes you feel you made yourself. When we carry these weights, our emotional energy becomes stagnant, and our capacity to tune in to that still, small voice within diminishes. One of the most empowering realizations is that forgiveness is something you do for yourself, not necessarily for the other person. It's an act of self-love, a way of saying, I choose to no longer allow this hurt to define me. By releasing the heavy burdens of the past, you create spaciousness in your heart. That newfound space allows your intuition to rise to the surface without interference. It's like clearing static from a radio frequency so the music can come through. Sometimes the person you need to forgive most is yourself. We can be incredibly hard on ourselves for decisions we regret, opportunities missed, or times we felt we let others down. This self-directed anger forms a barrier that blocks self-trust. How can you fully believe in your intuition if you're convinced you're prone to making mistakes? That's where self-forgiveness comes in. By acknowledging that you did the best you could with the understanding and resources you had at the time, you open the door to compassion. This compassion, in turn, lets your intuition speak more clearly. Yes, I may have stumbled before, but I am learning. I am growing. A helpful exercise is writing a letter, either to yourself or someone who hurt you, expressing all the emotions you've been holding back. Let the pain, anger, and disappointment flow onto the page without judgment. Then end the letter with a statement of release and forgiveness. You don't need to send the letter. The act of writing it can be healing in itself. Follow up with a symbolic gesture, like ripping it up or burning it in a safe place, to reinforce the idea that you're ready to move on. With every moment of forgiveness, you reclaim a piece of your personal power. You remind yourself that you are not a prisoner of your past experiences, and as you gently let go of these old stories, you'll find that the soft guidance of your intuition becomes stronger and clearer. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to emotional freedom, paving the way for deeper self-love and a more profound connection to your inner wisdom. Gratitude has a transformative power that works quietly yet profoundly. When you consciously shift your focus from what's missing in your life to what's already there, you change your internal climate. Instead of dwelling on lack, you begin to see abundance in friendships, nature, personal growth, and even simple daily routines. This shift from deficit to appreciation raises your emotional vibration, making it easier to sense and trust your intuition. Why? Because negativity often clouds your inner perception, while gratitude clears the fog, allowing guidance to shine through. If you've ever kept a gratitude journal, you know how this practice can brighten your perspective. Even on challenging days, writing down 3 or 5 things you're thankful for reminds you that life still holds small joys and lessons. Lately, there's been a surge of interest in gratitude apps and online communities hosting 30-day gratitude challenges. People share how focusing on blessings, big or small, brings more peace and clarity into their lives. It's as if the act of acknowledging the good builds a kind of momentum, drawing in even more positive experiences. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring problems. Rather, it's a way of balancing your outlook so that obstacles don't consume all your mental and emotional energy. By embracing a grateful mindset, you free up space to listen inwardly. You start noticing that little spark of insight, that soft feeling that nudges you in a certain direction, because your mind isn't drowning in worry or self-criticism. Gratitude elevates your awareness to a place where intuitive signals are more readily perceived. Think about how it feels to receive sincere thanks from someone. The warmth you experience can instantly boost your mood and sense of connection. Similarly, when you express gratitude to life, your own soul feels recognized and appreciated. That sense of uplift makes room for greater trust in yourself. You become more receptive to intuitive hunches because you're already in a state of receptive joy. A practical tip is to combine gratitude with mindfulness. Once or twice a day, pause, just for a minute, and list a few things you're grateful for in that very moment. It could be the comfort of your chair, the taste of your tea, or the fresh air near an open window. Breathe in this appreciation, let it fill you up, and exhale any tension or doubt. Notice how your body responds. Do you feel lighter, more relaxed? This simple ritual retunes you to an internal station of calm and receptivity. Over time, you'll find that gratitude isn't just a fleeting emotion, it's a way of being. It softens the ego's grip, inviting humility and openness. And when your ego isn't running the show with fear or demands, your intuition can speak more freely. You might find yourself having spontaneous moments of clarity about personal challenges or sudden bursts of inspiration about projects you've been mulling over. These instances are like gentle reminders that life has your back and that your inner voice is an ever-present companion, ready to guide you toward more harmonious experiences. By making gratitude a daily habit, you're essentially clearing a path for intuitive wisdom to flow into every area of your life. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a tapestry, woven from countless threads of experiences, impressions, and beliefs. Some threads are vibrant and supportive, representing self-confidence and optimism. Others are dull and frayed, tied to fear and self-doubt. Over time, these latter threads can become so tangled that they create knots of limiting beliefs, convictions like, I can't do this, I'm not talented enough, or no one understands me. The good news is you have the power to gently unravel those knots and weave new, empowering patterns. One effective technique is journaling. By writing down your thoughts each day, you develop an awareness of your recurring mental tapes. Maybe you notice a particular phrase you tell yourself every time you face a challenge. The very act of spotting this self-talk is a step toward change. Once you see it, you can question its validity. Is this belief absolutely true? Often, when we break it down, we find it's based on assumptions or outdated stories we've been telling ourselves. Visualization is another potent tool. You can use it in tandem with affirmations. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and picture yourself living out the reality you desire. If your limiting belief says, I'm not strong enough to stand up for myself, visualize a scenario where you speak your truth calmly yet firmly. Feel the confidence, see the positive reaction from others, and let that image anchor itself in your consciousness. This creates a new mental and emotional imprint, challenging the old script. You might also explore subconscious reprogramming methods like guided meditations or recordings that use binaural beats to lull your mind into a more receptive state. In this relaxed mode, often referred to as the theta brainwave state, your subconscious is more open to suggestion. Listening to positive statements during this time can gradually shift deep-rooted patterns that conventional talk or reasoning alone might not penetrate. Consistency is key. Think of rewiring your mind like learning a new language. It won't happen overnight, but each day you practice, you become more fluent. Be patient and kind to yourself. Notice any progress, no matter how small. Maybe one day you'll catch a negative thought and replace it with a more compassionate one. That's a victory worth celebrating. Why does all this matter for intuition? Limiting beliefs often act like a thick fog, obscuring the lighthouse of your inner guidance. When you start dissolving these beliefs, the fog lifts. You can see the light more clearly. You trust yourself more deeply. You sense possibilities where you once perceived only barriers. In other words, a clear mind forms a natural conduit for the voice of your intuition to come through. Remember, you're not alone in this process. Countless people are waking up to the reality that our beliefs shape our experiences. You have the freedom to reshape yours. Each new thread you weave can be one of confidence, self-love, and resilience. And as you keep going, you'll find that each step in overcoming limiting beliefs not only transforms your life experience, but also strengthens the bond you have with your inner wisdom. Think of your energy like a radio signal broadcasting out into the universe. The thoughts, emotions, and beliefs you carry act as the frequency. When your signal is clouded with self-doubt, anger, or fear, you might attract circumstances or people that match that lower vibration. On the other hand, when you practice alignment through gratitude, positive affirmations, and emotional healing, you raise your frequency, inviting experiences and relationships that resonate with a higher, more harmonious energy. Energy alignment isn't a mystical shortcut to bypass life's challenges. Rather, it's a practice of returning to your inner equilibrium no matter what arises. Techniques like meditation, breath work, or even creative outlets such as painting or dancing can help you maintain this balanced state. When you're aligned, you feel calmer, clearer, and more open to guidance from within. It's like clearing static from a phone call so you can finally hear the other person clearly. In this case, the other person is your intuition and the supportive energies around you. Manifestation is closely tied to this concept. Popular discussions often revolve around visualizing the dream house, the perfect job, or an ideal relationship. But genuine manifestation is about more than acquiring things. It's about stepping into a life that reflects your true essence. When your energy is aligned with your deeper values, love, compassion, authenticity, you naturally gravitate toward experiences that uplift you and support your growth. Your intuition acts like a compass in this process, nudging you toward the right opportunities and away from situations that don't serve your higher purpose. An example might be deciding to switch careers. You have a hunch that your current job isn't fulfilling, and your intuition keeps whispering, "There's something else out there." When you align your thoughts and energy with the possibility of finding a new career that ignites your passion, you begin to notice signs and synchronicities. Maybe you stumble upon an article about a field you've always been curious about, or a friend suddenly mentions a job opening that fits your interests perfectly. Coincidence? Possibly. But from an energy standpoint, you're simply tuning into a frequency where those options become visible. The important point is to remain open and flexible. Manifestation isn't about forcing a certain outcome, but about trusting that the universe, or life itself, is collaborating with you. Set your intentions, follow your intuitive nudges, and allow the unfolding to happen. This might involve patience and navigating periods of uncertainty. But as long as you keep your energy aligned, grounded in self-love, gratitude, and trust, you'll find that even setbacks provide lessons that guide you closer to your authentic path. Maintaining this alignment can be as simple as starting your day with a few minutes of meditation or gentle stretching to center your mind, body, and spirit. You might also do a quick energy scan at night, noticing where you might have picked up tension or negative emotions during the day. Visualize releasing them, maybe imagining them as dark clouds dissolving into the light. This kind of routine care for your energetic well-being ensures your intuition remains a strong, clear channel, guiding you toward experiences that resonate with your highest self. As we come to the end of this journey together, take a moment to notice how you feel. Perhaps you sense a subtle shift, a new awareness of that gentle voice within, and a growing curiosity about what it might say if you truly listened. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's your birthright to tap into your inner wisdom. You possess a boundless reservoir of insight and healing potential, far greater than you may have realized. Throughout these reflections, we've explored the importance of self-awareness, the guiding light of intuition, and the power of practices like mirror work, affirmations, forgiveness, gratitude, and energy alignment. Each of these tools serves as a reminder that you are not merely a bystander in your life story. You're an active participant, co-creating each chapter through your thoughts, beliefs, and openness to divine nudges. When you stop ignoring yourself, something miraculous happens. You begin to feel more alive. Decisions become easier because they're rooted in authenticity rather than obligation. Relationships deepen as you bring your whole self to each interaction, free of the masks or defenses that once concealed your true feelings. Even challenging moments become opportunities for growth as your intuition offers a steady beacon of insight, reminding you that you have the strength to face whatever arises. So what's next? You might choose to start your mornings with a short mirror work affirmation, reminding yourself, I am worthy of attention and respect, especially my own. Or perhaps you'll make a daily practice of writing 3 things you're grateful for, opening your heart to the richness already present in your life. Maybe you'll go deeper into meditation or energy alignment techniques, realizing that your intuition flourishes best in a calm and clear inner space. Above all, remember that self-love is not a destination, but a continuous unfolding. Each day you have a chance to renew that love, just as you might water a cherished plant or tend to a small flame. Be kind to yourself if old patterns of doubt or self-criticism resurface. Healing is often a spiral, not a straight line. Every moment of awareness is a step forward, another layer peeled away, revealing more of the radiant truth at your core. As we part ways, let this final affirmation resonate within you. I choose to listen to my inner voice. I trust the guidance it offers, and I honor myself by following where it leads. Carry these words in your heart, and whenever you sense that you're drifting away from yourself, pulled by stress, distractions, or external expectations, return to this affirmation. Let it ground you, reminding you that you are worthy of your own care and attention. With that, I encourage you to step forward into your life, embracing every breath as an opportunity to tune in and say yes to your authentic self. You have a voice worth hearing, and the world needs the unique light you bring. Continue on your journey with courage, compassion, and an open heart. And never forget that the quiet wisdom within you is always ready to guide you home.